but let's go ahead and get the aircraft into what we call a green jet configuration. With green jet meaning that the aircraft's ready to both take off and taxi. So if you look down and to the left, you'll see a throttle, and just to the right of the throttle you'll see both an anti-skid switch, as well as you'll see a switch for your flaps. Do you see both of those?
Yep.
Okay, take your anti-skid to on or forward. Check. And take your flap handle and put it to half, or just okay. So if you go forward with your landing gear lights, you'll see the nose, left and right landing gear. You should also see the flap light just a button up above it, and it should say half. Are you seeing that?
Yep.
All right, so let's move to the far right side of the aircraft in the cockpit. You'll see on your rightmost side, you'll see the exterior lights panel. Let's take all of the exterior lights, as you say, landing / taxi, anti-collision, navigation, tail brightness, take them all forward on that entire strip. All right, so now that that is done, we've got the jet in what's called a green jet configuration. From here, typically, you'll just, when you are green jet, meaning you're ready to taxi or you're ready to take off, both, as a matter of fact, the aircraft's ready to go, you'll call Two's green jet. And then,
green jet.
Roger. And then pretty much that's your cue to me, and I'll typically call Lead's green jet as well. And that's the cue for the flight to let all of us know, hey, we're ready to taxi. All right, so while we're here, I want you to look at your right MPD, and to the right of the right MPD, you'll see 4 gauges. And then to the far right of those 4 gauges, you'll see pitot heat. Do you see that?
I do.
Okay, so just left of the pitot heat, the gauge that's just left of the pitot heat is our fuel gauge. So
29.
Yep, so right, you've got 2,900 pounds of fuel, so we'd read that off as 2.9, just letting you know that that's where that is. And other than that, I'm ready to taxi. I'll keep briefing you up as we taxi out, but you said you're a green jet, so you're ready to taxi as well. So let's go ahead and start taxiing to the runway.
Copy.
Lead's rolling.
Who's rolling?
Roger. All right, so it's clear you've kind of been looking over the comms. Before every takeoff, we'll do what's well, typically before every flight we'll brief this, but we haven't. We're not going to do a full brief in the T-45. But before every takeoff, we'll give a takeoff briefing to let the flight know what type of takeoffs we'll be doing, what type of separation is to be expected, and then what altitude we'll be heading to and what our contract airspeed will be. So for this particular flight, we'll be doing roll and takeoff, and pretty much for the whole 122nd. We don't really do too much formation crap as far as formation takeoffs or stagger. We'll just do roll and takeoffs for the most part. 5-second min spacing. We'll climb to 3,000 feet. I'll climb to 3,000 feet, and then my contract speed until you call set or saddle will be 300 knots. Are you familiar with roll and takeoffs?
I am.
All right, good to go. So do you have any questions about any of that stuff that we just went over?
Negative. Two's tracking.
All right. Sit here for a moment. Let me think. In the event that you lose sight of me when we're up flying, the brevity code we use the wingmen use to let lead know that they are have lost sight is the term blind, like Stevie Wonder's blind. And when you gain sight of me again and you start tracking back to the formation, you'll call visual. Let's see. We're always going to start off in the same type of formations. So for this flight, we're just going to focus on what's called the wedge formation or the fingertip formation when we have more than 2 guys in the flight. So with the wedge formation, have you seen the formation video that I posted as far as how to get in the formation and all that stuff?
I have.
Okay, so you should be familiar with the wedge. You're always going to be on the left unless briefed otherwise. When we take off here, I'm going to take off and make an immediate right turn to follow the coastline. You'll see as soon as we get past the departure and we're going to see water. Just make a right turn if you lose sight of me for a moment. And again, I'm going to follow the coastline. I should be on about a 030 heading. But just let me know if you lose sight of me. What else is there? When you're about in position for formation, call set or saddle. Either or does. And that lets me know that you're about in position. You don't need to be in perfect position, but in your estimate, if you're about, I don't know, anywhere between 10 to 20 seconds from being in formation, call set or saddle. And once you do that, once you call set or saddle, now your responsibility, or excuse me, my responsibility to hold my contract airspeed and my contract altitude is over with. Now I've got the ability as a lead to maneuver, and now your job is to maintain formation and maintain positioning throughout the flight, and to be where you're supposed to be. So I know that's a lot. Let's go ahead and get in the air. Before we do, all that makes sense to you, brother? I'm not throwing out too much for you?
Nope, 2's tracking.
All right, brother. 2 call ready for takeoff?
2 is ready for takeoff.
All right. Now as we start heading to the runway, what's going to happen now is I'm going to get it lined up. And once I'm lined up and I'm ready to hit the throttle, I'm going to call rolling. And you'll do the same. Once... It's pretty much just the only time of the flight when we are in what's called a critical phase of flight, so we're not going to be doing too much talking outside of the absolute minimum. Once I'm airborne, I'll call air, and I have the aircraft under control. I'll call airborne wheels up and then flaps up. And then once you have the same, you'll call the same. 2's airborne wheels up, flaps up. All right.
2.
All right, brother. Let's rock and roll. Comms sound really good so far. All right, brother, lead's rolling.
Copy. Who's rolling?
Leads airborne, wheels up, flaps up.
2's airborne, wheels up, flaps up.
Okay, so remember that slow right turn as soon as you get past the departure in. Really good job so far. I'm rolled out on about a 030 on the heading.
2.
Okay, less than 20 feet from 3,000. Okay, so I'm at 3,000 feet, 300 knots. So I'm at contract speed and altitude.
Who's at 369 at 3,000 knots? Closing, you're probably about half a mile, quarter mile in front of me.
Okay, take your time, slow and smooth, smooth and steady.
2 saddle.
2 Roger. Very nice job. So as you see, we're just going down the coast. This is every time we fly in this little thing, this is exactly what we're going to be doing. Nothing will change at all. All right.
Copy. Excellent.
Your position is coming along very nicely. I see you trying to get yourself lined up with the leading edge of the aircraft, so I'm very pleased. One of the commands that we give, matter of fact, you're pretty much there now. So one of the commands we'll give for you to switch sides, to go from the left side to the right side, or vice versa, will be 2 switch sides, go. So on the command of go, you'll acknowledge by saying 2, and then you'll very slowly and smoothly transition to the other side of the aircraft with approximately the same spacing. Does that all make sense?
2.
All right, here we go. Let's give it a shot. Your positioning is perfect right now. 2 switch sides, go. I want you to be very slow, very smooth, no rush.
2 copies. Two set.
2 Roger. Excellent. Okay, it seems like you've flown in this little thing before.
I got about 3 hours.
Hey, your positioning is outstanding. Your positioning is outstanding. We're gonna get you used to switching back and forth. 2 switch sides, go.
2. To a set.
2 Roger. Very nice job. Now, a couple of the commands that we also use within the wing, and especially within the squadron, we use the commands kick out and close up. The command kick out means to open up the spacing to your lead aircraft, or if you're in a 3 to whatever the aircraft that you're supposed to be formed up with. It pretty much means open up the spacing. And close up means close up the spacing, or in layman's terms, get further away with kick out and get closer with close up. All right. With both of these terms, the lead or element lead can give you a specific position he wants you to kick out to, or he doesn't, but he does not have to. A good general rule of thumb is to just close up the spacing by half, and you're gonna have to eyeball that. So there's no specific formula or anything like that. To close up or extend the spacing by half, rather, excuse me. Does that make sense?
It does. I'm blind right now. I lost you.
Okay, I'm at your right, 1 to 2 o'clock, a little low. So level out.
Oh, I see. I'm tracking.
Okay.
I drifted up.
No, it's okay. Excellent job calling blind. So what's the brevity to let me know that you've got sight of me again?
2's visual.
2 Roger. Excellent.
1, 2. Say heading reference.
Right now we are on a 327, 328-ish.
2 copies. 328.
So also remember with once center saddle is called, you're doing a good job. You're doing and saying nothing wrong, but once you call set a saddle, all of your references should be off the lead aircraft. So you're no longer worrying about the heading tape or the airspeed or what have you. We got a lot of guys that kind of get frustrated with that. But yeah, that's why we have a contract speed and altitude. But again, that's why I said earlier, as soon as you call set a saddle, that contract's burned. I could start turning left right now. I could start turning right now. I could start drifting left or right, whatever the case may be, without letting you know. And again, it's your responsibility as a wingman to just adapt and adjust with me and try to stay in position and try to maintain formation.
Copy.
All right, 2, switch sides, go.
2. Two set.
2, roger. Really good job, man. Really good job. Excellent. So as of there, you are in perfect position. You're a little bit forward, but now you're about in perfect positioning, legitimately textbook perfect position. So I like what you're doing. All right, so here goes another command. 2, close up, go.
2.
Everything is slow and smooth. Nothing is rushed, and I mean absolutely nothing. Beautiful. Beautiful. So just eyeballing, that's about half right there. You don't have to get Thunderbird close or nothing like that, or Blue Angels, whatever. Those guys.
2.
Excellent. So again, you're looking at the leading edge of my left wing and just positioning your aircraft to intercept it. Whether it's the nose, tail, who gives a crap. But really good job. 2, kick out, go.
2.
Slow and smooth, slow and smooth. Keep slow, keep smooth.
Two set.
2, roger. All right, brother. I want you to pay attention. I'm going to start maneuvering, and I want you to stay with me. So what we're going to simulate here is we're on mission. I'm not going to call it every time I maneuver. I'm going to be making turns left, right, up, down, whatever the case may be. I want you to focus on staying on my, for this situation, right wing, okay? And staying in position. As my wing dips, just because like right now I'm making a right turn, you need to reduce altitude to stay with it. So you're going to be locked onto that wing, and then you should be reducing power so that you're not drifting ahead of me. And the other applies if I start turning right. Hopefully that makes sense.
It does. You're just a little bit far for...
Okay, you can close up the formation as you need to, just to put yourself in a more comfortable position. Excellent job. So you're going to, because of the fact I'm lead, I've got the luxury of just doing whatever I want. You'll always be adjusting power, whether it's increasing, decreasing, to adjust on how I am and to keep formation, but you're doing a really good job right now. Off the throttle here, make sure you don't overshoot. There you go. And just like that, I can also roll the other side. So again, you see my wing coming up, you've got to start adjusting right away. All right, so keep eyes on me. And now what are you seeing?
You're turning left.
Yep, so it's the inverse of the other one. So when I start going the opposite or turning this way and you're on that side, now you've got to increase your power and go up in order to stay in position to match the wing, the right wing in this case. All right, how you feeling so far?
I'm good. I'm better when I'm closer to you, so I get more able to see it better.
Okay.
I can see your wing, but this is a little close for you.
I mean, if you're comfortable with it, I've been hit by students before. As long as I don't crash, I really don't care. But yeah, I mean, like I said, nothing Thunderbird close or nothing like that. But if you're comfortable being a little bit closer and you think that assist you, I'm okay with it. You know,
It's the field of view on this one. The beam to the mirror is right where when I'm on your wing, it seems like it's right there, and your aircraft is obscure, so I can't see what you're doing.
Yeah, no, that canopy bow is a killer. So like I said, as far as the positioning, that needs, like right now, you're in perfect positioning. But the spacing, I'll leave that to you. You do whatever you need to do as far as spacing is concerned. All right, that sound good?
Good, copy.
Okay. So I think you've got the basics of the wedge. So I'm going to call you Sat. You're demonstrating that you understand the formation at a satisfactory level. So the next formation that we're going to go over is the spread formation. Have you done any work in the spread or tack left, right, tack left, attack right, same thing, spread? Have you done any work with that, and are you familiar?
No. I've seen the video, but I haven't done any work.
All right, so let's give it a try then. All right, so with the tack left or right, essentially, if you just hold your arms out straight and kind of put your hands out straight, that's basically what we're doing with the hands being the aircraft. We're trying to fly beam each other, and what we're doing in a tactical scenario is maximizing firepower forward, and also what that does is it kind of disguises for an opponents or bandits out there who's lead, who's the number two, because you always hunt for the lead guy to go down first. So with that said, like I said, you understand kind of how to do the formation. Like I said, if you need to close up, the spacing is your call. But let's go ahead and give that a shot. So the command for that will be to spread, in this situation, spread right, reference 160, go. Or to spread right formation 160, go. And then at the command of two, go, you'll say two, and then you'll go for it, all right? So let's go ahead and implement it. To spread right formation, reference 160, go.
Two.
Nice and slow. I want it to be slow and smooth. So again, the goal is for you to be looking left 90 degrees, looking into the cockpit of my aircraft, and for me to look right 90 degrees, and I'm looking straight into the cockpit of your aircraft. That's the goal. And again, you haven't had any work with it, so I don't want you to get frustrated, all right? Just let's get a little work in.
Two is set.
Two, roger. Let's keep coming forward. Let's give it a little more throttle. This formation is very uncomfortable for a lot of guys initially, so let's keep coming forward. And what you have to do is you've got to be able to look forward real quick and then look left. Forward for a couple seconds and then look left. But your throttle should be coming forward to match my aircraft's positioning. And about right there is perfect. About right there. If I'm able to look right 90 degrees and look directly, maybe a little further forward, but that's fine for now. And if you're able to, so our positioning is matched. So now with the throttle, try to match my speed, the positioning of the aircraft. That's excellent. That's the spread formation right there. You've got it. All right, so listen up. To switch sides, go.
2.
Same concept with the wedge. Nice and slow, smooth. I want you to be slow. Do not rush it. Reference, let's go 165 still in the heading, all right? Nice and slow. Oh, excuse me, 160 in the heading.
160.
All right, I want you to hold spacing right there so don't kick out any further. And let's go ahead and start bringing it forward. That's about perfection. Just match the throttle. That's about perfection right there, buddy. How's it feel?
2 set.
2, Roger. Gotcha.
I gotta find my trim. I'll keep porpoising a little bit. Otherwise, I'm good.
Yeah. Just trim the
2 set.
2, Roger. Looking good. Looking very good. All right, go back to wedge left.
2.
Let's think. What do we want to do? Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We've got a, I've got a feeling we've got, my spider senses are telling me we've got a strikey going our ass right now, so, well actually it's F10 that's telling me that. So, I want you to stay with me. Let's work on staying in positioning. Staying in formation rather. So let's come forward. Let's go and get locked on that left wing.
2 set.
2, Roger. So remember, as I'm turning right and the wing comes up, you should be doing what? You should be increasing power as well as... Yep, there you go. Excellent. Remember the leading edge of the aircraft, there's a laser going down it, and you just want to put yourself, intercept that laser. You've done an excellent job right now, bro. Alright, so we're going to slowly do the opposite. Let's start coming left. I want you to slowly start up, slower and smoother, no rush. Off the gas. There you go. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Once we get lined up with the coast here in a few moments, within the next minute or so, I'm going to put you in the spread, so just get ready for that. Just focus on staying in your positioning for now. I'm going to put you in the spread. And then if that looks good, I'm going to switch you up a couple of times. And then that's going to end the flight. We're not going to do any more than that, all right?
Copy.
One thing at a time, though. Keep slow and smooth. Smooth and steady always, okay? Okay, looking at that wing starting to come up, you should be increasing power, coming up as well. Very nice job. Very nice job.
Your jet seems faster than mine.
Don't worry about it. There's going to be times where we'll have, what is it called? Where it's glitching. What is that called?
Desync.
Desync, yeah, we'll have that. There's stuff that we can't control. I don't think we're having that issue today or right now, but it's going to happen at some point or another. And what I keep telling the rest of the guys is, if it's out of our control, it's out of our control, so don't worry about it. But
2 set.
2, Roger. I see you making the throttle adjustments. You're doing a really good job with that. So just keep doing what you're doing. All right, just like I said, excuse me, to spread left formation, reference 350, go.
2. To a set.
2, roger. Match the throttle, slow adjustments. Excellent. Excellent. 2, switch sides, go. Slow and smooth.
2.
Slow and smooth. Slow and smooth. Oh shit. Sorry about that. Update reference heading 350.
2 copies. A little bit close.
No, you're fine. Matter of fact, hold what you got as far as spacing. Slow and smooth. Excellent control. Just stick with it and don't get frustrated. Just match the throttle.
To a set.
2, roger. Beautiful. Right there. Now just match the throttle. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. We're done, man. This is a good day, first day. You signed off on these formations. Let's go and hop out of the server, hit escape.
Okay.
Perfect.